GSmaniamsmart, and I'm today on our brand new video for Gaming with JS, and today we're here on GW2, and we're going to give you a quick little guide on inventory management, how to get more space in your account. A lot of times people complain about the fact that they don't have enough space in their account, they don't have enough bank slots, they don't have enough inventory slots, everything's just getting full too quickly, and they want to find a way to get more space on their character. So this video is going to be very helpful to new players, fairly helpful to people who've been playing the game for a while. If you are a veteran player playing 2 years or more, maybe 3 years, you'll probably know a lot of this, but I think it's still good to remind you of some of these inventory managing skills, as well as some of these techniques to get more space on your character. So if we take a look at my inventory, you can see that it's not very well organized. At the bottom here, I have my secondary gear set. At the top here, I have a ton of different gizmos and stuff that really shouldn't be here that I can easily put in my bank or somewhere. Some of the things I can salvage. As you can see, I have some ascended gear here that I don't really need anymore. I have them here just because I feel like I will need them, but in actuality I don't. So the number one thing that you should be concerned about before even thinking of getting more space is see if your inventory needs to be managed. Inventory management is so crucial and so important, because you can very easily reduce the amount of things you have in your inventory if you know what you need, if you know what you don't need. I try my best to go through what I need. So for example, if you happen to have bloodstone dust or imperial fragments or a bunch of dragonite ore, if you don't have a gobbler, well, basically they allow you to feed them these currencies and you get loot out of it, then I would highly recommend converting them to the next tier of items. You'll notice here that I actually have some bloodstone bricks. Whenever I have a ton of bloodstone dust that I can't get rid of, I just convert them to bloodstone bricks. Because the reason is that you can only store 250 in your bank here. However, you can store 250 also of bloodstone brick. So a really cool technique is just to use some of your earlier tiers. As you can see, some of your earlier tier materials, such as these logs, such as some of the silks, such as some of the iron, such as some of the bloodstone bricks, and convert them into the actual component, such as planks, such as ingots, such as bolts. This will really help you save some space in your inventory, save some space in your bank as well, and you can deposit more materials into your bank here if you convert these to the next tier, to planks, to bolts, to sections here, to ingots, and most of the time you're gonna need those anyway. There are a few recipes that require the actual ore or the actual wood. Most recipes, the majority of the recipes, will require the bolt, will require the planks, and will require the ingots. So you're not hurting yourself if you're actually upgrading these. Same with bloodstone bricks. With bloodstone bricks, you can actually go into the Mystic Forge and turn these back into bloodstone dust if you need them. There's a recipe on the wiki that allows you to transform the bloodstone bricks back into bloodstone dust. So it's not harming you if you convert these to the actual bricks. So that's a cool little strategy. The other thing I would highly recommend is going through your inventory and just seeing what's useful. If you feel like you don't know if something's very useful, look at the Guild Wars 2 wiki. The Guild Wars 2 wiki is very well done. It's very well structured, and it's not like other game wikis where there might be misleading information, incomplete information, outdated information. The Guild Wars 2 wiki is very up to date. I used to be a part of the Guild Wars 2 wiki, editing some of the pages. A lot of people edit these pages and they're very up to date. So if you have like a map scrap, if you have a piece of a map scrap, I know that's one that people tend to keep in their inventory. They don't know what to do with it. If you have an item, look on the wiki, see if it's usable, see if you can complete it. And once you have completed it, you can throw it away or destroy it. A box of fun. If you're not going to use your boxes of fun, you can just destroy them. A lot of times there are items here that you may not know what they do, and you can look them up on the wiki and see if they're acquirable later on again. For example, some items you may need for crafting a legendary, some items you may need for a collection later on. Are there ways that you can destroy these items currently and get them back later? One really good example for this are some of these achievement skins. The achievement skins, some people keep the achievement skins in their inventory and in their bank, but in actuality, you can get them whenever you want from your hero panel. Go to your achievement, you can always get the skin just by withdrawing. You click one of these, you click withdraw, and you have it. So you don't need to keep some of these items in your inventory in your bank. you can actually manage your bank and manage your inventory wisely by seeing what items can I get later on if I need them again, what items don't I need at all, what items are part of a collectible that I already have and I can destroy them now, what items can be upgraded to the next tier, and if I need to basically deconstruct them again, can I do that? Searching these things on the wiki, just trying to figure out what you can use, what you can't use, what you need to use, what you don't need to use. That's really the magic in inventory management. And once you have those skills under control, then your inventory will look a bit more organized, and so will your bank be. Obviously, there are ways to upgrade your bank space and upgrade your bag space. I'll go over that in just a bit. But I would say before you do any upgrading, before you buy anything, go through what you need, go through what you don't need, and learn to manage your inventory a bit. Now, once you have your inventory management done, try to get 20 slot bags. As you can see here, I have the Halloween pails, 20 slot bag Halloween pails. I also have some of the fractal 20 slot bags. And if you're looking for 20 slot bags and you feel like they're very expensive, if we check the trading post, you're actually right. 20 slot bags are really expensive. I think a lot of them sell for, you have to buy for over 10 gold. So here we go, inventory bags. If we categorize these by most expensive, you can see that all the 20 slot bags are above 10 gold. 18 slot bags are 3 gold. The cheapest 20 slot bag is 11, nearly 12 gold. So how can you get some cheap 20 slot bags? Well, you can create the Halloween pails. I have a very specific video on Halloween pail creating. That's basically the cheapest 20 slot bag you have, especially with Halloween just ending, like a couple months ago. There are lots of candy corn in the trading post that you can convert to cobs, and then you can use those cobs to convert it into Halloween pails. What you'll have to do then is go to this vendor here. He's right here on the map. I circled him. When you go to him, you can convert your cobs to Halloween pails, and you'll be able to actually get those Halloween pails. They're 20 slot bags. I think I did the math earlier today. In total, you'll be using about 8.5 gold, which is 3 gold cheaper than the cheapest 20 slot bag that you currently have. You also have another option as we're loading here in the Lion's Arch loading screen. You can go to fractals, and if you have lots of fractal relics allow you to buy 20 slot boxes as well. The only requirement though is you need to have a lot of fractal relics. If you don't have a lot of fractal relics, if you don't do fractals a lot, you're probably not going to be able to qualify for getting these. But you don't need a lot of fractal relics. I think you just need like 150 for the cheapest one. We're going to go to the area right now as we load in here. If you've never been in fractals, you have to go to the right here, take the right entrance, and you get to the vendors. You go to this blue fractal vendor here, and as you can see, for 150 fractal relics and 10 silver, you can get a 20 slot box. There are some other ones that are also that categorize your equipment a bit more, but quite frankly, not really necessary. Just get the 20 slot bag masterwork here, and 120 fractal relics is not very hard to get. As you can see, I have a 700 and I do fractals quite a bit, so over time you can get these and you can just get them from here. So either use the candy corn method, use the fractal relics method, and you can actually increase your bag space by getting 20 slot bags, and you'll have a lot more space in your character. Obviously, also, it's very important to always deposit your materials, so click the little wheel here, deposit all materials, and you'll be good to go. That's pretty easy. A lot of you should know that. Now, anything that you may not need, I would recommend putting into the bank. A lot of the boosters you can put in your bank, the Black Lion salvaging kits you can put in your bank, anything that you may need to use in the future that you cannot reclaim. For example, like I told you earlier, some of the achievement skins you can reclaim for free. So anything that you can't reclaim, I would put into your bank. You have 30 slots, so it's not a lot of space, but anything that's account bound, I would definitely put into the bank here because you can't put account bound things anywhere else. Another thing you can do is actually a pretty neat little trick. You can have other characters that can actually carry equipment for you. And this is very easy to do through the bank. If you have a few other characters that you don't play as much anymore, you can use these characters as mule characters. That's what a lot of people are calling them, mule characters. And these mule characters will basically carry the things that cannot fit into your bank, like account balance stuff, or if you have extra materials that you don't know where to put, you can add these to your second character. All you gotta do is transfer these things from your bank into another character's inventory, and heck, if you want to give your other characters another 20 slot bags to the Halloween pails, you can have a lot of space on your other characters. We're currently on my Guardian here, and as you can see, my Guardian actually has a lot of the components that I need for crafting the Ascension, the PvP Legendary Backpack. It also has my raid tokens, it also has a few other things. These things cannot fit into my bank, so what you can actually do is just drag things from your bank onto the new character, and if you don't use that character a lot, then you basically have free extra bank space. You can clear some of your bank space out by putting it into mule characters, and whenever you need those items again, you can go on your mule character and transfer them again. So this is also a neat little technique you can do if you have other characters that you don't use a lot. Use them as ways to store more items. Now another neat trick that you can do is actually use your guild bank. If you go to your guild bank in Lion's Arch here, every city has a guild bank pretty much. You can store things into your guild bank here. Only non-account bound things, so if you have some food, if you have some Roar vs. World stuff, if you have some gear, you can even put some gear in here that you may want to use in the future. Anything that's non-account bound, if it is account bound, you can't put it in here. That's the only downside and sucky part. But anything that's non-account bound, you can put into the guild bank here. Now, if you're worried that other people may steal from the guild bank and steal your things, there's a workaround for that too. What you can basically do is if you don't have a guild, if you don't own a guild, and if you don't represent a guild basically, you can own a guild, but as long as you don't represent a guild, you can create a new guild. As you can see, I can't create a new guild right now, but if I don't represent this guild here, as you can see, now I'm not representing any guild, I can now select a blank slot in my guild panel here. As you can see, I have no guild in this slot. I can create a new guild, and just for 1 gold, I can get more space. So as you can see, I've set up GSmaniamsmart's guild here, GSYT, and in the upgrade section here, you can see that you can actually buy a Guild Vault Stash, which will give you 50 extra slots for 50 gold and 1,000 favor. Now this is the only hard part here, is that it does cost 1,000 favor, so you will need to complete a few guild missions to get this. So if you have a few friends who want to do a few guild missions and you can try some guild missions out, 1,000 favor isn't very difficult to get. 50 gold also in the economy currently isn't that hard to get if you just do a bit of farming and basically sell everything you get. If you do Auric Basin maybe like 2 or 3 times, you can get 50 gold too. The sad part is that before Heart of Thorns came out, you can basically create a guild for like a gold or so, and you have a free, getting a guild bank wasn't that difficult. Now you do need a bit more, so I wouldn't really recommend doing this unless you have a few friends who also want to use some of the space in the guild bank and you can trust them a lot. Then I would recommend doing this. Otherwise, if you're basically a one-man type of guy or type of girl who's doing everything on your own, then this can be a bit harder. So you may want to consider some of the other options that I've given you, as well as a few that I'm going to go over next as well. Now, the last couple of things that I would recommend doing is increasing your bag space by buying more bag slots. This can be extremely helpful, and it isn't that expensive either. It costs 400 gems, and you are able to convert your gold into gems. Currently, and hopefully in the future this won't go any higher, gems used to be fairly cheap with gold, but now there's been inflation going on and you need a lot of gold for gems. But currently, for 400 gems, all you need... Wow, this went really high. It used to be a lot lower than this. As you can see, for 400 gems, you need 109 gold currently. So with that, you can then... Okay, I had to go and turn the person playing their instrument off because that was really loud, I thought so. Anyway, like I was saying, currently 109 gold for 400 gems will get you a new bag slot. On my main character, the Ellie, I've invested those, and it obviously was a lot cheaper when I invested it in. And you can get more bank slots, and you can get more bag space. You get 20 extra slots basically. But what I think is even better, and sometimes these actually go on sale, is just getting another 30 bank slots. Sometimes ArenaNet will sell these for 400 gems. Currently they're selling for 600 gems. You obviously need a lot more gems for that. But sometimes there is a sale for 400 gems. You can get 30 bank slots for the price of 20 bag slots. So that's the other thing I recommend. Now there is something else that you can do, which you can expand your material storage. Currently you can only get 250 per material. However, you can increase this to 500 if you buy the material expander. I do not recommend buying this, and I don't think you should buy this at all because, like I said, you can convert Like for example, if you have 250 elderwood, you can convert this to planks, which you can save some more space in. So you could basically have 750 elderwood in your bank. So I would say the material expander is not really worth it. If you're gonna invest some gems, invest it in the inventory slots or invested in the bank slots. If you have the maximum amount of bank slots, if you have the maximum amount of inventory slots, you should have plenty of space. I don't think you would ever need to get more material storage. I don't think that's worth it at all, so I don't recommend buying the expander for material. But I do highly recommend buying the bank expansion slot and the bag expansion slots, and those I think are worth it. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Just wanted to go over some techniques to give yourself some more space, share with you the cheap bag method, share with you the mule method, share with you the guild bank method that now I guess is a bit more annoying to complete as it was in the past, because now you actually have to have favor, you gotta have 50 gold. But the option is there for you if you like to do it. And hopefully these little methods can help you out get some more space. If you like the video, go ahead and leave a like at the bottom. We really appreciate it. Any comments, questions, any other techniques or tricks you have for getting more space, go ahead and leave the comments down below. We're all here to learn, and would really be surprised there's some more tips that I missed. Because heck, then I can get more space too. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Lots of the Guild Wars 2 guides in the channel. Lots of the Guild Wars 2 gold guides in the channel. We do patch summaries, we do story recaps, all kinds of cool Guild Wars 2 stuff on the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. We currently have a giveaway going on as well. And if you want to check out the vlogging channel, the gaming channel, the tutorials channel, or the advice channel, links in the description as well as on the end screen. Thank you for watching as always, and this is GSmaniamsmart. I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.